What up, what up, what up, yo? This is Big Time Math, and we're talking about A3C today. So the student is expected to graph linear functions on the coordinate plane and identify key features. So the big thing we're going to look at today is identifying key features. We've got x-intercepts, yo. We got y-intercepts, zero, slope, and mathematical and real-world problems. So what does all of this mean? Key features, looking at something and telling me what it's about. What we like to do here is a big thing is called rocks. See this right here? R, 0, X, S, they all mean the exact same thing. So if the problem asks for roots, it's asking for zeros, which means it's asking for the x-intercepts, which means it's asking for the solutions. So all four of those words mean practically the exact same thing. And so if you're ever having trouble, man, I forgot what a root is, it's an x-intercept. If I forgot what a zero is, it's an x-intercept. If I forgot what a solution is, it's an x-intercept. So the easiest thing for me to remember is that I'm always looking for the x-intercept when it says any of these four words. Now, we're also going to be talking about slope, and you did slope back in the intermediates, but now slope and rate of change mean practically the exact same thing, yo. So we're looking for rate of change or slope. So if it says slope, we're looking for rate of change. If it says rate of change, we're looking for slope. All right. And then, of course, the easiest one I think is the y-intercept up in this mug, because the y-intercept, yo, is practically, where does that sucker touch the y-intercept? Where does it touch the axis, the y-axis? It may say initial value, which means the same thing. It may say the starting point, which means the same thing. So we've got our kind of like round robin. All these things mean the same thing. All these things mean the same thing. And all these same things mean the same thing. So what does all this mean? So check it out. We have this graph right here. And it's asking, look right here in the yellow. So I'm looking right here. It's asking for the zero. And so zero, I even wrote it up here. Man, what does it mean when it says zero? Well, zero is part of my rocks, which is already here. And zero means the x-intercept. So this is going to make it very, very easy for you to find, because here's the x-axis. Bam! There it is. So my x-intercept in this case, or my zero, is 3. Everybody see that? 3 is a 0. 0 is an x-intercept. They all mean the exact same thing. So I can do 3. If you want to write it just like the number there, or you can write it as 3, 0. All that's saying is this, what number gives me 0? In this case, 3 gives me 0. So see why it's got a 3 right there on the x. All right. And so now we're going to look at the y-intercept. And we just talked a minute ago about what y-intercept is. Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. Go down, 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 down. Bam! There's that number right there. So my y-intercept is -6. Now, if you want to write it as an ordered pair, remember I'm writing a y-intercept. Therefore, I have to have a value for the y, and the x is going to be 0. And then we have our slope. Slope is rise over run, rate of change, all that means the same thing. So let's go right here. I'm going to find a point, and here's a point right here, rise over run. So I'm going to go up, can't go over, nope, go up, bam, there it is. So how many did I go up? I went up 2 and over 1. Remember, rise over run. So slope is 2 over 1, or we can simplify that to 2. And remember, slope is m. So we have our 0, y-intercept, and slope, yo. All right, let's try another problem here. You can always pause and go back if you're having some questions. So here we go again. This time it's asking for roots, but I'm big baller shot caller, and I say, well, roots is right here, and roots means x-intercept. So I'm going to come over here. Here's my x-axis and go, bam! There it is. So my root in this problem is 1. Everybody see that? It's 1. It's where it crosses the x-axis, because a root is an x-intercept. And if you want to write it as an ordered pair, you can, as x, y, which is 1, 0. Y-intercept, again, pretty darn basic. Y-intercept is the y-axis. Go down, bam! There's that number there. The number is 3. And if you want to write it as an ordered pair, you can. All right. Man, this stuff be easy, yo. I'm not tripping. I'm just knowing my vocabulary, you know what I'm saying? And so, now it says rate of change. Gosh, man, what does rate of change mean? I remember in that first slide, rate of change meant something else. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be tripping, yo, because it's slope. And then slope, I already see that the graph is going down, so this mug is negative slope. So I'm going to find a point here. Let's change this color up in here. So here's a point. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Hey, that works there. So how do I get from this point to that point? So I'm going to go down 3, over 1. So down means negative, so negative 3 over 1. So I got my rise over my run. And so it's got negative 3 over 1, which simplifies to negative 3. So I have my answer. My root's 1, my y-intercept is 3, and my rate of change or slope is negative 3. And I remember I can go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. Bam, bam, bam. Makes it look like a staircase, yo. So I have all my vocabulary right there. Again, if you want to check this problem out again, pause this mug and check it out. Uh-oh, what if we go to real world? Well, this is pretty big baller shot caller. We're going to move pretty quickly here so this video don't get too long up in here. X-intercept, what's the meaning? So, man, I'm just going to go up in here. X-intercept, here it is. And I know my x-intercept, if I write it out like this, so my x-intercept is 20, 0, x, y. What does that mean? Well, 20 is on the x, so what's the word? 20 is time seconds. So I've got 20 seconds, and then it's 0. What's the y? So I'll come over here to y. Y is also, oh, not going there, right here. So I've got 20, 0. The y, what I meant is what does y stand for, and that's the floors. So in 20 seconds, I'm at 0 floors. So how could I put that in a complete sentence? I could say, well, in 20 seconds, we made it to and we could call it the ground floor, right? Because now we're on the ground, we're at floor 0. And so what does that mean? 20, 0 means in 20 seconds, I'm at the 0 floor, which is technically the ground floor, right? So now let's go to the y-intercept. Y-intercept is right here. Let's check this out. We're going to change color. Y-intercept in this case is 0, 20. And so we got 0, 20, x, y. Oh, yeah. Well, if x is time and y is the number of floors, if I have 0 time, isn't that where I start? So couldn't I say we started on the 20th floor? Does that make sense? 0 time means where I started. I'm on the 20th floor. Bam. So now I know what that means. And then we have our slope. Let's check out our slope. Now here, there's some points, but I'm not sure if they're exactly the right points. So what I'd like to do is I like to go to intercept. So check this out. I'm going to go down, so down 20, and then go over, over 20. And so I have a slope, which is negative 20 over 20, which is negative 1. So what does that mean? So if my slope is down or negative 1, or if you want to keep it negative 1 over 1, what does that mean? Now remember, we're doing change of y over change of x. So let's go over here. Bam! Y is floor, and then x is time. So could we say that we're going down 1 floor per second? All right. And so let's see if that makes sense. If I go down 1 floor per 1 second, bam, then I know exactly what my slope means. All right. So that's how you do these real world problems and understanding the meaning. Let's do one more really quickly. X meaning, Y meaning, slope meaning. All right. So X intercept, I'm coming right here. Bam, that's the X intercept. I can see that that is 70, 0, because X intercept always has a Y of 0. So what does that mean in words? Well, the X is adult tickets. The Y is children's tickets. So it looks like if we sell 70 adult tickets, then we could say 0 children's tickets. Children tickets. All right, and let's say if that makes sense, 70 adult tickets, 0 children's tickets, makes sense to me. So that's big baller shot collar. Now we're going to go over here to what's the y-intercept mean. Here's the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 0, 140. So there's my X and there's my Y, you know what I'm saying? Woohoo! Aight. And so this one, X is what? X is adult tickets. So we sell, and we could say 0, and you could write it out or write the number, adult tickets, and sell, how many children's tickets? Whoa, man, that's a lot of children going up there. 140 children tickets, aight? Woo! And then slope meaning really quickly. Remember, I think when you're dealing with these problems, it's easier to go axis to axis. So let's change colors. So here I'm going down. I went down 140 and over 70. So technically that's 140 over 70, which is technically down 2 over 1. And so we're selling 2 less tickets per adult ticket, right? So sell 2 less children's tickets per adult ticket sold. Let's make sure. So we're selling 2 less because it's negative, and this is positive, so we're selling it. So for every adult ticket we sell, we're selling 2 less children's tickets, pretty much. All right. So that's how you do this. You just read the intercept and what does the number stand for. That's what the meaning is, okay? You could pause this. I'm done with this video. However, if you're a big baller shot caller and want to try a bonus problem, check out the next slide. The next slide is right here. This is the big baller shot caller no graph only table. So this is no graph. It's only a table. Let's talk about how this would work really quickly. You have your rocks. So I'm asking for roots, zeros, x-intercepts, or solutions, my y-intercept, and my slope, which is the rate of change. Pause this mug. Try to get those answers, because in 5 seconds, I'm going to show you the answers. I'm not technically going to work it out. I'm just going to see if you can get it on your own. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam. I'm going to show you the answers. Let's see how you did it. Boom, that's how you would do this. Remember that rocks is your roots, zeros, x-intercepts, or solutions. So in this case, the x-intercept is -2, 0, because the x gives you a y that's 0. So that's why this in the yellow is your rocks, or your x-intercept, solutions, roots, or zeros. The y-intercept is always going to have the x value at 0. So in this case, that's pretty easy to find, because your y-intercept is a number, your x-intercept is going to be 0. And if you're a big baller and you remember, back in 8th grade and 7th grade, your slope, which is your rate of change, I chose these 2 points here for this one. So I did y2 minus y1. So you'll see where this 6 and this 4 came from. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then I did, let's do that, my x2 minus my x1. 1 minus 0 is 1. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. So they're my slope. So you can actually use a table to find your rocks, y-intercept, and slopes, rates of change, or you can use the graph, all right? So that's A3C. Good luck on all of this, yo. Know your vocabulary. All right, this is Big Time Math. Peace out.